Shout-outs. So this is our 3 shout-outs. We do these every week, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go last. Steven, you do your 3 shout-outs?
So a bit random. I've just finished binge listening to all of the Harry Potter audiobooks. I've read the series a few times. Hadn't listened to them before. The guy who performs these books is so good. He is so good. His name is Jim Dale. He's an older British actor. He does voices for all of the main characters and just effortlessly switches between them. It's a joy to listen to. I think this may actually be the best way to experience the series. Love the books. The movies try really hard, but just do not succeed. And these audiobooks are fantastic. If anyone has not experienced Harry Potter after all this time, or if you've had an allergic reaction to it based on how popular it is, it's one of the great works of modern pop literature. There's no way around it. It's brilliant, it's enthralling, it's full of wonderful themes that children should be forced to think about, and everyone who enjoys good stories should love it. There's no excuse. So go check it out.
Gotcha.
Okay.
What's your second one?
I've just started watching a new show on the Sci-Fi Channel, or the Sci-Fi Channel.
Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi, called The Expanse. And Sci-Fi, or Sci-Fi, has unfortunately cultivated a reputation in the past few years for appallingly cheap, awful content.
Yeah, but Sharknado is so fun.
No comment. And
Aren't they on like number 4 now
they
or something?
are.
Oh, are they driving that one into the ground? Ah, don't drive that one into the ground. The first one was perfect.
The idea that something that started out already buried can be driven into the ground is comical for that reason. But this show, The Expanse, is real science fiction. It's like once a decade, Sci-Fi can crank out a real show. They gave us Battlestar Galactica, and now they finally followed in their footsteps. The Expanse, I'm not going to get into the details, but if you love real science fiction with real characters and a reverence for actual physics, this is the show you need to be watching. It's the closest we're going to get to Game of Thrones in space, and it's excellent.
Alright, I'll check it out. Brian put it on his Plex server?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over there. Let's see, number three was... one of my favorite bands, Epica, that I went to their wonderful concert here recently. Their new album is now available, called The Holographic Principle.
Okay.
And if you like opera and metal, and like these two things to be combined, then Epica is the band for you.
Makes sense.
And those are my shout-outs.
Gotcha. What are your 3?
My 3. First one's going to Meryl Streep.
Hell yeah.
Because,
Hell yeah.
really, I mean...
Listen, this whole you're an entertainer, shut up thing is just...
Well, the strategy is when someone makes a factually accurate observation, then the authority has no choice but to label them
bad.
as somehow unable to make true statements. They have to say, oh, you shouldn't have the right to do that because you're a celebrity. If what she said wasn't true, they would not be attacking her.
Right, they would just go, she lied.
Yeah, and we're talking about a woman who has made her career on observing people and their mannerisms and their behaviors. And yeah, I think if anybody's qualified to talk about it, it's her.
Well, I don't think you have to be qualified to talk about it. I don't care if you
Nobody
think
has
she's...
to be qualified, but I'm just saying, you know, we're not she's not Alex Jones.
Hey, Alex Jones has a sweet synth rig.
But it's just more like if you're talking about who said something as opposed to the merits of what they said,
Right.
then clearly you're trying
Hi,
to
Studio Cat.
dissuade things.
Yes.
Hello.
Are you coming?
Alright, so what's your second?
Second would be Brooklyn Pie Company.
Yeah, Brooklyn Pie Company.
For making a pizza that you and I can both agree on.
Yeah. And then I hate myself after I eat it.
Well, that's why I only got the one.
Yep, that's true. Hi, Studio Cat. Hello. What?
And then shout out number 3 is going to Congressman John Lewis.
Yeah, okay.
So John Lewis, for those of you who aren't familiar, he is the last surviving speaker from Dr. Martin Luther King's 1963 March on Washington.
Ah.
And he is currently the House representative representing like 75% of Atlanta or something. So.
Really just one of our great public speakers and activists
Yes.
on civil rights that has ever lived and will ever live. And
Yes, and, you know, he's also in a Twitter war with Trump.
the world is now in a collective Twitter war.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the only ones happy about it are Twitter.
Yeah, and Twitter is actually taking Trump to task over it. And good for you, Twitter.
All right.
All right, that's my 3.
That's your 3. My 3. The first one is Graham Maxwell? Maxwell.
Yes.
Sorry, it's in a shadow and I'm wearing shades. Graham Maxwell, we're both members of this synth memes group. I love my synth memes group.
Yes,
What's up, guys? I share stuff that I make on that group, and sometimes somebody's like, nobody cares about your band. I'm like, okay. But I mean, the reason I share it is because it's like, yeah, if somebody thinks it's cool and wants to sample it, like, my rule is no hate speech. Right? No hate speech, and if you're gonna sell it, split it with me. Just split it with me. Split it with me and all of the guys that were on the record, right? So just split it with all the musicians if you use a sample. And because that's the deal we do internally. We just all split everything. So yeah, but ultimately, like, if you make no money with it, that's fine. Just no hate speech. That's all I ask. Seems reasonable.
Okay, so why is Graham on your list?
So Graham put out something and felt like he was receiving crickets. You put out music and it gets 14 views and you just want to, like, put a bullet in your skull. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. I'm fortunate in that this channel is growing. The Jazz Destroyers are growing. This channel overtook the Jazz Destroyers for the first time in the last week.
But look at how much work you put into it. Like, the growth is not something that just happened. The growth is the product of continual pressure and persistence and perseverance.
And output.
And the tough part, though, is, like, I've been doing the Jazz Destroyers for a year longer. This came along and just went right the other way, right over the top. I wish everybody on this channel would give a crap about my music. But that's okay,
So
right? Everybody's got taste.
Go like the Jazz Destroyers.
And go check out Graham Maxwell on SoundCloud. I really liked what he was doing. He was feeling no love. The second, so he deserves to feel some love. The second is Jared James, who was supposed to be a guest today, but he's a little under the weather.
Okay.
He's a big supporter. He shares our stuff, and it's just the best. That's, of all the things, you hit the like and leave a comment. That really helps us a lot. But it's when you share it with a friend as well. You show other people. When you like and share, all you're doing is you're convincing the algorithm to show more people in search results, which is a way of doing it, but also hitting the share button and saying, hey, check out what Don's doing. It helps a tremendous amount. And really, the reason I do the label is to build an audience for the projects on the label. So it makes logical sense that the label has more subscribers than the band. It just bothers me. But Jared James, and so we're hoping he's feeling better. It's real rainy and... And then my final is always to the Get Off My Lawn Records family, the whole family. We have a Facebook group you can join. I try to not overpost. With these Facebook groups now. Are you on any Facebook groups?
What do you mean?
Well, like, the one I can think of is like Maynard People or our HOA one.
Yeah.
So when I join groups, I leave the notifications on. You have to manually go turn off notifications for a group.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like, if I'm going to be part of a group, I'm going to be part of a group. The problem is that some people, they'll put me in a group that I don't want to be a part of, and then they post like 150 times a day in there, and you're like, bro, you're blowing my phone up. I keep getting notifications every time it's, this guy posted in his... Because we all self-promote. I have a lot of entrepreneurial friends on Facebook, so we all self-promote. And I try to not be too spammy about it. But at the same time, I'm totally shameless. Everybody knows. I'm pretty sure I pestered everybody who's watching this at some point.
Yes.
About what I'm doing. I can't help but talk about it.
Or you harassed me to pester them.
Yes.
One of the two.
So those are our shout-outs. All right, ready for lap time? All right,
Ready.
what's next?